It's Thursday, September 25th. Welcome to Scouting the League. Going to be a shorter episode today. Maybe you're already cheering for that, but you're here to learn about football and maybe today get some insight from those in the scouting world. Certainly some frustrations right now from scouts across the country with everything going on. Social media, TV pundits, everybody out there. Before we get into that and give my 2 cents, plus a little bit of what I've heard, make sure you head over, like, subscribe, share this podcast wherever you are listening and watching, whether it's our home over at profootballinsiders.com. Follow them at pro_FB_insiders, or it's over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube with that video portion. Make sure you're hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Most importantly, share this with a friend. If you love ball, somebody else loves ball in your life as well. Make sure they are listening, tuning in, commenting, reacting, doing all the good stuff they need to. Send them over to Twitter, to X, have them follow me. I am Rodrik David at Right Step ADV is where you can find me. Right Step Advising, bringing you all the information in the football scouting world that you need to know. Agents, scouts, aspiring scouts, those in the media, anybody that wants to learn football, let me know. My website, rsafootball.com, is going to be the spot where you can find out more. You can hit me up with a message on there, on X, anywhere you can find me. If you're a scout out there, you probably already got my number. So make sure you hit me up. Co-host throughout the week, Neil Stratton, bringing you really good insight from all around the world, really focusing on those agents. But again, he does fantastic stuff throughout the week. He is at Inside the League on X. InsideTheLeague.com is his website. Make sure you go check out some of our partners as well. BlueMaca.com. Get those insoles that will improve performance as soon as you slide them into your shoes. Agents, they should be a part of every package you're putting together for recruits or clients. They should be a part of every training gym. They should be a part of every pair of shoes you put on. Just by putting that non-slip insole in there, your performance, there we go, will improve. So make sure you get those Blue Maca insoles, BLUMAKA.com. Use code SCOUTING20 to get 20% off that order as you take that next step. And then take care of your sleep as well. Head over to inactiveco.com. That is inactiveco.com. Gil and Lori were on with us. Every player traveling overseas for some of these games has the sleep mask, getting that sleep gear. If you want to sleep better and by proxy improve your performance, make sure you have that sleep mask and get that sleep gear ready to go. Inactiveco.com is where you can get all that. It is a growing spot. If you want to improve performance, start by improving your sleep. So let's get into it today. Heard from several people throughout this week the frustration of what the draft world, what the scouting world, what the periphery to what people in the industry world is doing. Again, it's a grain of salt industry that football has become so big because, again, one, it means more money. It means more revenue. It means teams can pay a little bit more. Maybe it means teams are more open to having people come in. But at the same time, every voice out there spewing nonsense is a bad voice for the game of football. Some of these wildly inaccurate opinions, again, whether it's media, whether it's people who just go viral, whether it's people who claim to have been in buildings, claim to be scouts, claim to be working with teams, all this kind of stuff, that will sometimes make it back to people who do have voice and do have influence in football buildings. Again, I was a part of a building where you occasionally get a request for a video or a cut up or a project where, again, the way it's given to you, the way you're told to, complete it, minority owner or somebody peripheral to the owner or somebody, a coach's cousin, there's all sorts of reasons and all sorts of places this can come in. TV personalities are one of the big ones where it is really happening. It is so frustrating listening to them not just talk about a breakdown of the game. Again, that's fine. They can watch the film. They can watch the All-22. They can give opinions as well as anybody does. They can give scouting reports. There's some really good ones out there. But as soon as they venture into the area where, man, if this team wants to win, this is what they need to do. That is where, as scouts, as people in the building, that is where you start ignoring them and where you start losing the idea that that person has any credibility. As soon as they start suggesting things that you as a team should be doing, even though they're not with you, not in the grind every day of the week. Again, I heard from one person specifically, like, that's everybody's got the answer for what we should be doing. Guess what? There's a reason they're not doing it. You think they didn't think about that going through, 40, 50, 60 hours of game plan, 70 hours plus of game plan before this last week? You think they didn't think about that? Oh, wow, you figured that out. Good job. Guess what? There's a reason they're doing it. There's a reason that teams do almost everything and put it on film early this year. Now, there's always going to be, things that they're going to find hey, wow, that we really were telling it this week. Guess what? It's going to be completely different next week. Again, teams are always scouting, always self-scouting, always self-analyzing, whether it's the QC coaches, whether it's the pro department, whether it's the analytics department. Again, Saquon Barkley looking left or looking straight, again, that's not a tell. Like, again, there are quarterbacks that have had tells, and guess what happens over the course of a couple of weeks? They get it figured out. Running backs, again, Saquon, either that was a fluke, whether that was it's going to happen one game and done. Again, yeah, I'm not going to buy into that one. There's a whole pistol shotgun thing happening in Atlanta. Again, there is a reason teams are doing what they are doing. Again, for scouts in buildings, and this is always something to think about if you want to break into scouting, if you want to have good relationships with scouting, as soon as you start telling NFL teams, scouts, coaches how to do their jobs, what they should be doing, that is where you're going to lose credibility, and the communication aspect with anybody in that building is going to get a little bit quieter and a little bit less friendly. Again, as soon as you know how to do their job better than them, even though you're not in the grind, the credibility is lost. So again, pump the brakes on some of these analysis. Again, break down the game. Talk about the positive. Talk about, where guys really fell short, where teams really fell short. Talking about, hey, it would be great to see them do this. But as soon as you start suggesting, hey, if they do this, they are going to win a bunch of games. Come on. You're better than that. If you're a football person, you're better than that. Again, even in the NFL building, scouts are told to stay in their lane by coaches. Coaches are told to stay in their lanes by scouts. Analytics are told to stay in your lanes. Again, everybody's got a lane. Know where your strengths are at. Know where you can be. Again, your relationships with people, with that team, if that's where you're at, is going to be better across the league if you're wanting to get into it. And again, maybe it'll just silence some of the silly noise that's out there on social media, because there's plenty of it, and let the people that know football. I am not one of them. I am not in a building anymore. I am doing draft analysis. I'm looking at it from the pro perspective. I'm talking about issues that scouts may want to think about. But again, I'm not ever going to tell somebody how to do their job when I am not in the grind with them. My 2 cents, my soapbox for the day, a growing issue as social media is big, or as everybody wants to get their opinion out there, as everybody is a quote unquote expert. Again, make sure we realize who we are, what we are, where we've come from. And I promise you, doing that will help you more than, again, being a really, really smart person telling everybody how to do things out there. What are your thoughts? Who are the best? Who are the worst? What are your opinions on all of it? Let me know over at Right Step ADV. I'd imagine there may be some reactions to this one. I love to hear them. I want to hear them from you, so let me know. But in the meantime, we are going to keep watching football. I'm going to keep breaking down prospects. We're going to get back to our prospect series, our draft room series here soon, as we continue to bring you great guests as we go throughout the football season. And all in the meantime, we are going to keep scouting.